I'd rather be doing this after a win. How's my hair? Your hair? It's okay. Just okay. You think it's just okay? I think it looks good.
What? You serious?
Mind blown.
We need ideas. I'm dumb. Silly hard.
We get to the game, please. Leafs lose 5-3 to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Do I freak out? Is this an angry dangle video? I don't know. Tell you what, let's go through the game and figure it out. Radko Gudas, one of the most entertaining names to say in the entire National Hockey League, beats James Reimer and the Maple Leafs in the first minute. 1-0 Lightning. But Phil Kessel ties it up on a nifty feed from Carl Gunnarsson. We got ourselves a game again. But with that goal, I think you can see where all the Leafs' heads are at right now. Kessel jumped on that shot like it was the last puck he was ever going to see in his life. Just I couldn't find a hockey stick, so I used Cartman. It's been a few games since Kessel scored a goal. It's been a few games since a lot of the Leafs forwards scored a goal. Everyone seems to be gripping their sticks extra tight, and Reimer doesn't have it. Combined with the fact that this was the Leafs' second game in a back-to-back, they just got off a 5-game road trip. They weren't destined to win this one. Kuhlman, though, nice deflection on Tim Gleason's shot. The Leafs have the lead, and I'm like, okay, all right. And David Clarkson, pivotal role in that play. There's been at least 5 or 6 goals this season where Clarkson did not get an assist, but the goal doesn't happen without him. So good for Davey Clarkman. Then he takes a penalty roughly a minute later. Steven Stamkos scores on the power play tie game again. I don't want to hang that one on Reimer because 1, it was an excellent pass by Valtteri Filppula, and 2, if you watch the replay, I think Rangers screened Reimer. He was overcommitted to one side, couldn't see the puck, and it was just Stamkos, dude. Of course, Stamkos scores again because of course, and the Leafs head into the second period down 3-2. Now, the Paul Ranger hit. Paul Ranger taken into the end boards hard by Alex Killorn from behind, had to leave on a stretcher. He was down for like 10 minutes before that. And I was trying to think of the last time a Leaf was taken off on a stretcher. I think the Leafs have been pretty fortunate compared to some teams in that regard. Some of you guys were telling me about other times where Leafs were down for a very long time. Koliakovo a few years ago, Mike Van Ryn, Thomas Caberlet, but all of those were quite a while ago now. So what do I think of the hit? A lot of the talk was about intent. I don't think Alex Killorn had any kind of intent to injure. That's something they look at on the suspension front, and I don't think he should be punished for that. Now, a lot of the talk has been about that last-minute little pivot that Ranger made with his skates. While I do think that pivot changed the hit, if you watch the replay, keep a close eye on Ranger's numbers. They do not move. So no matter what Ranger does on that play, Killorn still would have hit him in the numbers from behind, a dangerous distance away from the boards. You're not allowed to do that. Dangerous play, checking from behind, 5 in a game sounds about right. Now, while the pivot doesn't contribute to the checking from behind, because that was going to happen anyway, I think it contributes to the injury, which is why you don't kill Killorn with like a 5-10 game suspension. If Ranger doesn't turn, he would have got taken in from behind. It wouldn't have tickled, that's for sure. He wouldn't have liked it, but I don't think he goes in like neck first. If you watch, the pivot kind of makes Ranger go into the boards like in his neck turns like that. I'm no doctor and I haven't heard an update on the hit, but what I imagine happened, he probably heard a crunch and he probably couldn't move his neck. It might be a sprained neck. Whether you're an athlete or not, you've probably been doing some random football game with your friends, just running around, street hockey, you fall down, fall off your bike, you're doing something dumb. Every one of us has had an experience where you just go, I think I have paralyzed myself. That hit for Ranger was probably that experience to the umpteenth degree. I wonder how often NHL players have an experience where they just go, well, that's my career. I had a good run of it though. But again, not as a medical professional, it looked like the Leafs took all the proper precautions. They want to make sure Ranger's safe, and hopefully he gets well soon. Lost in all this is Ranger done for the season? And some of you might be rolling your eyes like, oh, well, he's not a huge part of the team. Well, he's not Phil Kessel, but I like the Leafs having 7D because they don't use the 4th line. So does a defenseman get the call from the Marlies? Or do they continue to play Carter Ashton for like 3 or 4 minutes? Anyway, that's not the important part. A quick and speedy recovery to Paul Ranger. Hopefully it's not serious at all. Second period, 1 goal, and of course it's Steven Stamkos. He gets his hat trick. A natural hattie. I wrote the pregame post for this game. I didn't actually write it. I typed it. And as I was typing it, I'm like, Stamkos hasn't been that hot since his return. I didn't type out that thought because I didn't want to jinx it. Well, that didn't matter. Stamkos scored 3 goals in about 12 and a half minutes. David Clarkson has 4 goals this season. So there's your annoying stat of the day. Third period, Jake Gardiner scores a beauty. He's just been on fire lately to keep the Leafs close. One of the questions of the game, do you think Jake Gardiner is emerging finally? Like, I mean really emerging. The kind of blue chipper that people hoped he would be? Or is this just some hot streak? Of course it doesn't matter because Tyler Johnson, 22nd of the season, rookie sensation, and the Leafs lose 5-3. Secondary question of the game though, was that interference on Tim Gleason? If you watch the replay, I think it was totally incidental contact. I don't think Tyler Johnson meant to knock down Tim Gleason or bump into him. They just did. But I'm not an official, so I need you to tell me, does that matter? I mean, the play led to a goal by Tyler Johnson. Final question of the game. Wow, there's a lot. This one's not a treat though. James Reimer. Does he come back next season? And your answer can be yes as a Leaf, or yes as a Jet, or some other team. Aaron Ward on TSN made a good point that, well, he's a restricted free agent, so his hands are kind of tied. He doesn't have enough say as to where he goes. He's not a Phil Kessel echelon star. He can't just be making trade demands. Oh, he can. The team doesn't have to listen to him. And I've been saying for a while now that I think Reimer stays. I think he likes the city. I think he wants to battle for his #1 job again, or at least for more starts. But this just seems like a broken situation where he's not happy. The team's not happy with him. Maybe it's best that they part ways. So that's it for this one. Obviously a lot of questions coming out of this game, out of this little stretch heading into the playoff drive, so that's not good. Click like if you like this video, click subscribe if you really liked it. Please actually answer the questions, and I will see you next time. I'll post a few links below if you want to read them, and brand new Panago Pizza Steve Dangle podcast getting recorded tonight. Hey look, some good news!